Alright, so you all know I like to talk about chronic pain, anxiety, depression, all that stuff, but I have a new insight. All of this wonderful, beautiful information flew into me yesterday in my meditation, and I have to share it with you. So this is a video of why we experience pain and how to heal. And this isn't just about the lessons that you learn along the way, which yes, that's part of it, that's part of the growth. This is a new approach to take towards your healing. So if you're currently doing a lot of inner work, inner child healing, shadow work, you're really reflecting on your emotions, you're sitting with them, this is the video for you. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Megan. I'm here to help guide you on your path, hopefully give you some inspiration, motivation, and clarity. I am open for personal readings right now. All of my information to book is down below in the description box. Okay, so let's get into it. There's an analogy that I want to use for this insight. So we're going to play a game. We're going to imagine. So let's pretend that you are a teacher. That you are not just any teacher, you're a kindergarten teacher. And you are in charge of about 20 kids 5 days a week. And you have a variety of different kids in your classroom. Right? You have the kids that are really quiet, really shy. You have the kids that are really outgoing. You have the kids that are really, really loving and seek out attention. You get the idea. So with all of these kids, you have a lot of different energies. And it's your responsibility as the teacher to set a safe space, right? Create a safe space, a warming space, and to manage all of this flow of energy. Because kids in kindergarten are about, 5 or 6? So they're in their age of feeling all their feelings. They're just up and down, very unpredictable. Okay, so this analogy is going to be like, you're the teacher, this is your conscious mind. Okay, this is your conscious mind as the teacher. The kids in the classroom are going to be the energies that you experience throughout your body. So all of the feelings, right? The good feelings, the bad feelings, the scared feelings, the sad feelings, all of those different feelings are going to be represented through these kids. So let's say you're this kindergarten teacher, and you've got a pretty good handle on all the kids. Things are, chaotic certain days. Other days they're a little more relaxed. But then all of a sudden a new student enrolls, and this student is not a good student. This little kid is crazy, and he's mad, and he's coming in, and he's hitting some of the kids, and he's just wreaking havoc, okay? Causing a lot of people to feel uncomfortable, to feel scared. And he's even inflicting pain sometimes. So you go to, you talk to the parents and you try and you just want the kid out. You're like, oh, things were going fine. Things were okay. But this new kid came in and he just messed everything up. And you want him gone. You're like, life would be easier. My life would be easier if this kid was gone. So you talk to the parents and you try, but the parents aren't really working with you. And so you, after a while, you realize that, okay, I just have to deal with the kid. I have to deal with this kid, right? And this is now my responsibility, and I have to protect these other children. So what can I do, right? What can I do? So the first thing you'd say, well, why is this kid wreaking havoc? Pretty simple explanation. Usually it's because the kid probably isn't getting the love or attention at home that it needs, right? It's not getting the care that it needs. So how can I, as a teacher, love this kid unconditionally? And it's hard to love this kid, right? Because this kid is not very lovable. This kid is mean to you. It spits at you. It's giving you so many challenges, and it's hard to love this kid because it's not only disrupting the classroom, but it's hurting the other kids. You're like, how am I supposed to love this kid? But this kid needs love, right? More than anything else, it needs love. It needs acceptance. Right? Because this kid doesn't feel accepted at home, and now it's not feeling accepted in the classroom, and that's why they're acting this way. So you have to learn, and it takes patience, right? You have to every day think, how can I just create a safe space for this child? How can I love this child? Okay, so this child represents the pain in the body. So if you're dealing with back pain or a migraine or anxiety or depression, this represents your pain, okay? So when this pain comes into your body, our first reaction is, I want to get rid of it. How do I get rid of it? you go to the doctor, right? You do all these things. And sometimes those work. Sometimes, you find something and it works. But what happens, what I've realized in my healing journey dealing with chronic pain, is that when you get a handle on one symptom, then a new symptom comes in. And sometimes that happens because what's happening is you're directing that energy somewhere else in the body. So if you start taking painkillers, or you find a way to heal this area of your body to make yourself feel better, sometimes the energy moves to another part because that emotion wasn't resolved. Because every pain you experience, even on a physical level, is tied to an energy and is tied to an emotion. Okay? So that emotion isn't being addressed. So this pain in your body, you're like, okay, I want to get rid of it. I don't want it. It's causing havoc on my life. And it's hard to love this pain, right? It's hard to love this kid. It's hard to love this pain because it's making you feel like crap. It's messing with your life. So our initial reaction when we experience pain in the body, we get defensive. It's a normal human reaction. We want to get rid of it. We want to protect ourselves. We want to protect the rest of our body. We want to protect us, and we want to say, how can I get this out of me? But sometimes when we deal with chronic pain, it's not that easy. Sometimes it sits with us for a while. So instead of trying to get rid of it, right, this is a part of us. This is a part of you that's scared. This pain is tied to fear. This pain is tied to sadness. It could be guilt. It could be shame. It's any lower vibrational energy. It's tied to an emotion that you feel. Maybe you felt it as a child. Most likely you did feel it as a child. And now it's coming through now, screaming because it hasn't been addressed. It hasn't been loved, that side of you. So instead of trying to get rid of this pain, how can we love it? How can we send compassion to this pain? How can we create a safe space within our body and feel at peace so this pain feels loved, right? Because when we love ourselves, we create a safe environment within ourselves. That's when our body can heal. It's all about creating the right environment so our body can heal. That's why people say stress is like the #1 culprit for so many illnesses, because if you take out the stress, right, the fear, you take out the scarcity, you take out the lower vibrational energy, that sad energy, your body feels safe and calm. It stops producing so much cortisol, right, and all those stressful hormones, and it can naturally heal. Our bodies are self-healing. The only reason it can't heal is because of these energies that are stuck. So I encourage you to look at the pain in your body and approach it with love, because this is a scared part of you. This is the child within you that is freaking out, and they feel when you're trying to just get rid of them and you're like, get out, they feel like you're trying to get rid of you, a part of you, a part of your child. And when you realize this, when you do this in meditation, I did this yesterday, and I've done this multiple times, and I tend to always forget because my old habits bring me back to that wanting to run away from the pain, wanting to distract from the pain. But when you come to this pain and you say, I love you, I'm sorry I tried to get rid of you, I love you, you're basically taking this pain, this child, and wrapping it up in love. And that child will cry. I mean, I cried. Or you'll release in some kind of way, but look at that pain as a part of you. Now, sometimes this can be hard to look at that pain and accept it, because we think that if we're accepting this pain, then that means we're okay with it, and that means it's going to stay. But that's not true. That's not true. That's a false belief. That's a belief I held on to for a long time. If I accept this pain, if I sit with it, if I love it, that means that I'm okay with it, and that's going to stay. But it's not. There's always going to be parts of us that are scared. It's a normal emotion to experience. There's always going to be parts of us that live in fear, parts of us that live in shame, guilt, anger. There's always going to be that, right? So how can we welcome that part? How can we send love to that scared part of our inner child? How can we send love to that pain? Once you start doing that, the pain will lessen. Just like that kid in that classroom. If that teacher commits every day to loving that child, to sending it love, it's going to take time, right? Because that child is at home not getting the love it wants, and it's who knows what it's doing outside the classroom, right? But when it's in the classroom, and you can think of the classroom as your meditation if you want, right? When you're in the classroom, when you're in your meditation, how can I create a safe space? And over time, what's going to happen with that student and that teacher? If that teacher really puts loving energy into that kid is going to start to change, right? It's going to take time, but that kid will change. And that kid will become more loving. And that kid will become more accepting. And that kid's energy will calm down and feel safer. It's hard for us to feel safe in this world, even as adults. As kids, it's really hard because we're absorbing so much and we're learning, and we can't process it all. So then we get into this, our adult years, and we have to start learning how to process this unresolved trauma, right? Because trauma, it's not always some big, traumatic thing that happened when we were a kid. It could be like someone didn't pick us for the team. We were the last one picked. That could seem something as silly as an adult, but as a kid, that could be really traumatizing. Those unresolved type of traumas start to show up when we're ready to handle them. So that pain comes up. You start experiencing those migraines, that arthritis. You used to develop an autoimmune disease. You start feeling depressed every morning. You get panic attacks. And your body's like, okay, it's time. It's time. Your inner child is screaming. Your inner child is having a tantrum. It's saying, listen, listen. And it's wreaking havoc on your body because it's crying out for help. Right? So how? It's hard to love. I know it is. It's hard. It's hard to love this side of ourselves because we just want to get rid of it. We want it to go away. And it feels that. That part of us feels that. Imagine, okay, this is another way of thinking about it. Imagine if you're this teacher and you want this child to go away. So you bring in his parents. I'm thinking it's a little boy because little boys are reckless, right? You bring in his parents and you have to tell his parents right in front of the little boy, they're all in the same room, you have to tell them that I don't want you in my classroom, you're wreaking havoc and I don't like you and you need to get out of here. Imagine what that would do to that little boy. How do you think that little boy would feel if he was said, if a 5-year-old boy was told by a teacher, I don't like you, I want to get rid of you. I'm getting choked up now. I want to get rid of you. How do you think he would react? He'd be really sad. He'd be upset. He would feel unwanted. That's how your body feels. That's how your body feels. It feels like it's not wanted. It feels upset. It feels sad. When I sit in meditation now, and I sit with the pain, and I send it love, and I feel in it, whether it's nausea I'm experiencing, or any kind of discomfort, and I send love to it, I can feel a part of me feeling accepted. Oh, it's such a spiritual experience when you can do this. It's hard. It's hard because to fully love this part of yourself when you've been denying it and hating it for so long, it might take some time for you to get to this point where you can get into this state of meditation. It took me time, okay? It took me time to get to this point where I was like, I love you, and I really felt it. Oh, I cried because it felt like this little child inside of me was finally being accepted into the world and loved unconditionally no matter what I was shamed about. Because I dealt with a lot of shame. That's a huge energy for me that I still get triggered by. Because I dealt with health problems since I was little. And, even in middle school and high school, I had IBS, so I had problems going to the bathroom, and that was the most embarrassing thing. So I've dealt with a lot of shame towards my body when it comes to my health issues. So being able to create a safe space for myself now, to not feel shame, and it's important while you do this process not to judge. That's another thing. You have to learn how to put your judgments to the side, because your inner child isn't going to come out and talk to you and express itself and let you know what energy it's feeling unless you tell, okay body, I'm putting my judgment to the side. Express yourself freely. I'm here for you. I love you. I'm creating a safe space for you. Because if you think about it, when that that disruptive kid comes into the classroom, they're not going to trust the teacher right away. They're not. It's going to take them some time to trust and to be able to open up and to feel safe. So be patient with your body in this process. A lot of the times in my videos, I would say it's time to release that energy. And while there's truth to that, I think it's important not to spend too much time focusing on releasing the emotion. It's more about, I'm learning this now, it's more about accepting it and loving it versus trying to release it. Because if we're trying to release something, we're trying to remove something, we're trying to get rid of something. Now it's about accepting, loving unconditionally, and sending love. Because this is how we heal. We change our environment. We change, we bring more love, acceptance, we put our judgment to the side. That's how we heal our bodies. We listen to them. We listen. When there's pain, when there's discomfort, that's our inner child crying out for help. We say, okay, what is this energy associated with this pain? What is this feeling? Okay, is there a memory from my childhood that needs to come through? Is there something that, how do we talk to our bodies? Like, this is my gift. I want to share with the world, you guys, how to talk to your body, how to send love to it, how to create this space that your body needs, create a new environment, right? Because it's the same thing like with a plant. When you're taking care of a plant and it's not doing well, what do? You usually put it in the sun, you change its environment, you find out what environment it needs. We need to do that with our bodies. Now, of course, taking medications and supplements and foods are all part of it. You know, if you have to take medications, then take medications. You know, I'm not against medications, but I think throughout your healing journey, you know, if you're doing the meds, if you're changing the diet's so important, exercise and all of that, what I'm talking about, needs to be integrated with all of it. This isn't the only way to heal, but it's a big chunk of it. And it's powerful. This is learning to become your own mother. This is learning how to become your own therapist. This is taking your power back, stepping into the amazing, talented soul you are. I'm excited. I want to keep making videos about this. I really feel like this is my part of my calling. I love reading tarot, and I love doing that because I work with energies and it helps me pick up on emotions and things like that. But I really want to teach people how to harness this power, how to love themselves on a deeper level. Because a lot of people preach self-love, but a lot of people don't know how to actually do that. That was me for a long time. I was like, I think I love myself. I don't know. But I'm still learning all the time new ways to do that, and this is a very powerful way. So get in your meditation, get in your classroom, sit down with that pesky little kid, that pesky pain, and send love, okay? I love you guys. I'm sending love to you now. If this video helps you, let me know. I want to hear your feedback and share it, because I feel like this could help a lot of people if you feel called. So I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.